Hello and welcome to HERU Yoga for the Blind. My name is Hannah and I'm the founder and the voice behind HERU, and I will be guiding you through this short yoga session. Important quick note, this session is designed specifically for people with glaucoma or detached retina. However, if you do not have any of these conditions, you can of course still practice this session, but is very similar to the one from last week. Before we get started, please ensure that you have enough space around you to move and or someone with you who can support you and your safety as you move through your practice. Make sure to wear something comfortable that you can move in without distraction, and ideally take off your socks to get a better feeling for the floor or the yoga mat. Today's session is a floor-based sequence focused on cultivating a practice of gratitude. A practice to turn inwards and to reflect as you move through your postures. Things you might need are a yoga mat and a blanket for your shavasana, your relaxation at the end of the practice. If you do not have a yoga mat, please simply practice on the floor and do not use a blanket or a towel to put down as a replacement for your yoga mat, as it will simply make it too slippery and not allow you to grip properly. Lastly, you are the expert when it comes to your own body. During your practice, you might experience some discomfort in certain poses. This can be an indicator that you might want to adjust the pose slightly or maybe use some props to support you, but it does not mean that yoga isn't for you or that you cannot practice this pose. Should you, however, experience pain or work with an injury, please stop, ease off, or choose a different pose. Pain is never something you should work through. While all precautions were taken to make this practice as safe as possible for those with glaucoma or detached retina, if you feel that an exercise does not feel right, or you feel the pressure rising in your eyes during the practice, then please stop practicing and maybe take a moment to recenter and do what you need to do. Now, enough with the chatter though, let's get you started. Find a comfortable cross-legged position on your pillow and or your blanket. Place your feet under the opposite knees. Press the outside edges of the feet into the floor. With both hands, grab your right thigh and roll the right thigh towards the middle of your cross-legged position. Your right sitting bone comes off the ground. Now move the right thigh back in space and then plant the sitting bone back down. Take a moment here to feel into the front right hip and to tune into the spaciousness that is now there. Then repeat this on the other side. With both hands, grab hold of your left thigh. Roll the left thigh towards the middle of your cross-legged position. Your left sitting bone comes off the ground ever so slightly. Move the left sitting bone and the thigh back in space and plant it down. With both sitting bones now firmly rooting into the pillow or the blanket, feel your spine lengthening right up into the top of your crown. Slightly engage the lower abdomen by gently pulling the navel back towards the spine. Feel the length in the side body. Place now both hands on top of your energetic heart center, your breastbone. Even with little to no vision, please feel free to rest your upper eyelids down onto your lower eyelids and close your eyes. Allow your focus to turn inwards, to be able to tune into how your body feels right now. What is your inner landscape physically and mentally doing today? Take a few moments here to tune into that sensation of your breath flowing freely through your body. Your heart gently lifts and softens as you in and exhale. Feel the expansion on the inhale and the softening on the exhale. Your rib cage expands on the inhale The ribs gently soften on the exhale. Then take a deep breath in through your nose and a soft, long exhale out through your soft lips. Allow your body to settle. Give yourself permission to find a moment of stillness in your body and your mind. Take a moment here to let go of your day, your week thus far. This is a moment of surrendering, of undoing, non-doing. Connect with the earth beneath you. Feel the crown of your head float to the sky, and then tune back to the back of your heart center, the spot between the shoulder blades. Feel how it inflates as you inhale and how it softens as you exhale. Expansion on your inhale, softening on the exhale. Simply take time to notice. No need to change anything about your breath. Simply observe. Always from a place of curiosity and inquiry, never from a place of judgment. As you sit here and make the connection with your breath, take some time to reflect on what is there that you are grateful for. As human beings, we often go on about our day to day without actually taking time and a moment of pause to reflect. This is this moment. It's a moment of reflection. And I invite you to reflect upon anything today that you are grateful for. This year has been quite a challenging year for many of us for different reasons. And sometimes it can maybe feel a little bit overwhelming to find those grateful moments. But I invite you to take out the pressure and let it be anything that it can be. It can be something as mundane as your first sip of the morning beverage, a conversation with a loved one, the feeling of your clothing on your skin. Often it is those little things that will help us to connect with ourselves and those around us that we love. It's those small pockets of joy. Take a few more breaths here, really tuning into this idea of gratitude. And maybe there's one thing in particular that keeps coming back to you. Take note of that. Then one more breath. Deep inhale through your nose and a soft, long exhale out through your soft lips. Then, if you had your eyes closed, gently open them and coming back to a more active focus. Allow your arms to simply rest down by your side with the palms facing away from you. Shoulders are relaxed. On your next inhale, float your arms up to shoulder height. Reach your hands far away from you. Then bring your hands behind your head. Press your head into your hands. Exhale, bend over towards your left. Bring your left fingertips onto the floor next to you. Melt your shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath here in this side bend. Then on your next inhale, return to center. Exhale, release your hands right and left next to you. Other side. Inhale, float your arms up to shoulder height. Reach your hands far away from you. Lift your heart slightly. Then bring your left hand behind your head. Press your head into your hands. Exhale, bend over to your right. Bring your right fingertips on the floor next to you. Melt your shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath here in the side bend. Then on your next inhale, return to center into an upright position. Exhale, release your hands down and shift your weight forwards onto all fours. Place your hands roughly shoulder width apart and a little bit in front of your shoulders on the mat. Spread the fingers wide and claw the fingertips back. Root the knuckles and the base of the palm into the floor. Your knees are roughly hip-width apart and slightly behind the hips. If you have tender knees, either double up the mat or place the blanket underneath them. Then gently pull your navel back to the spine and keep your lower abdomen activated. Today, you will do a slightly different cat-cow. So to start with, stabilize your pelvis and then just move your thoracic spine, so your upper spine. Your crown of the head keeps reaching away from you. So you're just moving your heart. So as you inhale, pull your heart forwards. And as you exhale, bring the heart towards the ceiling. So if you feel the broadening of the back. Inhale, you pull your heart forwards. Exhale, you widen the back. Let's do one more. Inhale, your heart pulls forwards. Exhale, you come back. Then let's do the opposite part of the spine, so the lower half of the spine. So stabilize the top bit. Your upper arms are rooting back into the shoulder sockets. As you inhale, tilt your pelvis forwards and down towards the mat. Your sitting bones look towards the sky. Exhale, bring your tailbone down towards the mat. Bring your pubic bone forwards. Inhale, tilt your pelvis forwards. Sitting bones come high. And then bringing your pubic bone forwards. One more time. Inhale, here, tilt your pelvis, bring your sitting bones up high. Exhale, tilt your pelvis, pubic bone comes forwards, and then come back into a tabletop position. On your next inhale, shift your weight forwards onto your hands. Your feet lift off the ground towards your bottom so that your weight is on your knees and hands. Pull your navel back and your heart forwards. Exhale, bend your elbows and slide your arms down alongside your upper body. Lower your chin and chest until you come to lie down on your tummy. Press the tops of the feet, the place where your sandal straps would be, firmly into the floor so that your knees can lift off the ground. Lengthen now your tailbone to your heels and your navel still pulls towards the spine. Inhale, slide your hands forwards so that your elbows are under your shoulders. Forearms on the floor and parallel to one another. Your shoulders roll back, your heart pulls forward. Swings pose, Salamba Bhujangasana. Take a breath here. Keep integrating your upper arms into the shoulders. Your heart pulls forwards. Then on your next exhale, move your chin to the right and look over your right shoulder. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, bring your chin to the left and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Repeat this a few times with your breath. Exhale, you move your chin to the side. Inhale, you bring it back to center. Exhale, you look over your shoulder. Inhale, you bring your face facing forwards. Slow this movement right down. Keep it gentle and soulful. On your next exhale, release your upper body back down on the floor. Then slide your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, press your hands into the floor and come back onto all fours. Inhale, step your right foot forwards in order to come into a low lunge. Your front foot is roughly underneath your front knee, creating a 90-degree angle. Your back leg is on the floor. Your base is hip-width distance. If your back knee does not like this position, try taking a longer stance, doubling up your mat, or placing the pillow or blanket under it. Now inhale, place both hands on your front knee. Draw your front knee back into your front hip. Scissor the legs towards one another. Engage the core and exhale. Bend a little deeper into the front knee in order to stretch your left front hip. Inhale, reach your heart forwards. Upper body leans diagonally forwards and away from your back leg. Imagine it as an extension of the thigh of your back leg. Exhale, roll your shoulders back. Inhale, reach your arms out to the side, roughly on shoulder height, palms face forwards. Energy in the fingertips. Exhale, bend your elbows and bring your upper arms close towards your side body. Inhale, reach your arms out to the side. Exhale, bend your elbows, hands look forwards. Repeat this a few times in coordination with your own breathing pattern, always following inhale as an expansion, exhale as a gathering. In this position, continue to engage the core and really root into your base. Keep your upper body leaning diagonally forwards. And if it gets a little bit wobbly in your foundation, and if you have to place your hands down to reset at any time, please feel free to do so. Let's do a few more. Inhale, you reach. Exhale, you gather. Inhale, expand. Exhale, you gather. One last reach. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down on the floor on the inside of your front foot. Heel toe your front right foot slightly towards the outside edge, so the right edge of your yoga mat. If you do not have a yoga mat, simply create a slightly wider stance between your foot and your leg in order to create space for your hip. Now here you have different variations. You can keep your hands on the floor and roughly as wide as the shoulder. Or if you're quite mobile in your hips, you can bring your forearms on the floor. In any case, really important here, make sure to keep your chin lifted gently and to not drop your head down. So you want to keep expanding and reaching through the crown of the head. Your back leg can either remain on the floor as it is with the knee resting down, or if you would like a little bit more of an active practice, here you can lift your knee off the ground. Lengthen the back leg by pressing your heel away from you. Hold this lizard pose, Uttan Prasthasana, for a few breaths. If you have chosen, place your elbows down or lift your knee, and maybe it feels a little too much now, you can release the knee at any point or come up from your elbows back onto your hands. This can be quite an intense pose, so feel free to adjust it at any point to make this pose work for you. Whichever variation you've chosen, take one more deep breath here. Focus especially on the exhale and slow this one right down. Then on your next breath, come back into a tabletop position. Take a moment here to reset, finding your breath. Time for the other side. Inhale. Step your left foot forward and come into a lunge position. Your front foot is roughly underneath your front knee and you create a 90-degree angle. Your back leg is on the floor. Support your back knee if needed. Inhale, place both hands on your front knee. Scissor your legs towards one another. Engage your core. Exhale, bend a little deeper into your front knee in order to stretch your right groin. Inhale, reach your heart forwards. Your upper body leans diagonally forward and away from your back leg. Imagine it as an extension of the thigh of your back leg. Exhale, roll your shoulders back, creating space in your chest. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up to the side, hands face forwards, energy in the fingertips. Your upper body keeps leaning diagonally forward. Exhale, bend your elbows and bring your upper arms in towards your side. Inhale, reach your arms out to the side. Exhale, elbows bend, hands look forwards. Repeat this a few times with your own breathing pattern. Inhale, you reach your arms. Exhale, you bend your arms. Inhale, you expand. Exhale, you gather. Continue to engage your core here and really rooting into the floor. Inhale, reach. Exhale, gather. One last reach here. Then as you exhale, bring your hands down on the floor and place them on the inside of your front foot. Heel toe your front, the left foot slightly towards the left outside edge of your yoga mat, or simply widen your stance slightly. Again, there are different variations available, and as always, just because you have done something on one side doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing on the other side. You can keep your hands either on the floor roughly as wide as the shoulders, or if you're quite mobile in your hips, you can bring your forearms on the floor. Lift your chin slightly in any case. Your back leg can either remain on the floor, or if you like a little bit more of an active practice, lift your knee off of the ground and extend through your back leg through the heel. Hold this lizard pose, Uttan Pristhasana, for a few breaths. If you have chosen to place your elbows down or lift your knee and maybe it now feels a little bit too much, you can at any point release the knee down or come back from your elbows back onto the hands. As I said on the slide before, it's quite an intense pose, so you can feel free to adjust it at any point to make this pose work for you. Whichever variation you have chosen, take one last deep breath here, focusing especially on the exhale. Slow it right down. On your next breath, either come back onto your hands, release the knee, and then swing your front leg back, come back into a tabletop position. Take a moment here to reset. Exhale, shift your hips back onto your heels. Then sweep your legs around until you come to a seated position. If you have the blanket nearby, you can grab it and sit yourself on top of the blanket. Now bring your soles of the feet together and allow your knees to fall open to the side. Right knee opens to the right, left knee opens to the left. With both hands, grab your right thigh, roll it in, lift your right sitting bone off the ground, then move the thigh bone back and place the sitting bone back onto the floor. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Grab your left thigh with both hands and roll it in. Lift your sitting bone off the ground. Move the thigh bone back, place the sitting bone back on the floor. Now scoop your hands under your ankles. Your ankles are now basically sitting in your palms. Roll your shoulders back, root your sitting bones into the floor. As you exhale, start leaning forwards by hinging from your hips. Keep a long spine. Reach your crown diagonally up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lean a little bit more forward, keeping your spine long. Your sitting bones keep rooting into the floor. Here, it is not about how low you can get, but how you can create space in your spine and in the front of the hip. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lean more forwards. Now this time, as you exhale, remove your hands from underneath your ankles and place your fingertips onto the floor in front of your shins. Keep the length in the spine. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, feel the spaciousness. Exhale, hinge a little bit further, but keep the length in the spine. Inhale, you create length. Exhale, you hinge a little further. Then on your next inhale, come back to center by rooting through your sitting bones into the floor. Your spine rolls up vertebrae by vertebrae until you're back in an upright position. You can now either stay with your legs like this for the final meditation, or you can come to a comfortable cross-legged position. Inhale, float your arms up high to the sky, and bring your hands to prayer. Exhale, gather your hands in front of your heart. Today's session finishes with a seated meditation. But if you like to finish with a traditional Shavasana, please feel free to add this in your own time after this session has finished. Sit up tall. Sitting bones are rooting down, crown reaches up towards the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. Rest your upper eyelids on your lower eyelids in order to bring the focus back inwards and give your muscles around the eyes a little bit of a rest. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the breath traveling through your body with ease. Feel the ebb and flow of your breath, the ripple effect in your body. Welcome a lightness to your breath. In this safe space you've created for yourself, take some time to reflect upon anything you feel grateful for. Loved ones, the breath in your lung, sunshine on your skin, fresh air, a tasty meal, a nice compliment from a co-worker, whatever comes to mind. And with everything that comes to mind, quietly visualize the words, thank you. If you find it difficult to come up with gratitudes, remember even the smallest, simplest things count. It doesn't have to be anything big, and take the pressure out of this and let them arrive in their own time. This is not a moment where you have to achieve, it's a moment of trust, receiving and surrendering. Allow the feeling of gratitude to come into your body. Notice where in your body you can feel it. Take a few deep breaths here and allow this feeling to expand. Allow it to expand through the whole of your body and maybe even beyond the boundaries of your body. Take a few moments here to tune into the sensations in your body, and whenever you're ready, allow your mind to drift off for the next few moments of silence. Once it is time for you to come out of this short meditation, you will hear 3 gong sounds. I will then gently and safely guide you out of your meditation. Now, slowly, without opening your eyelids and without moving, bring your awareness back into the room that you're in right now. Take one deep inhale and a soft, long exhale out. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the air around you. feeling of the clothes on your skin. Maybe you can wiggle your fingers and maybe wiggle your toes. Inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Now, as always, finish your practice with a few silent words of gratitude. Let's say thank you to our body for carrying us through this practice, supporting us and our loved ones throughout this day, and for always giving us a home, no matter what, with love and respect. Thank you for practicing with me today.